That it has been a long time. I'm finally doing an updated Myers guide, mostly going to try and condense it. So the original guide I found to be a little too long, and there were lots of things that I didn't remember to write in that I remembered as I was making it. So to help myself out a little bit, I'm only going to be concentrating on the basics of Myers for this stuff to focus on improving when you're starting off. I'll make a separate video focusing on builds. I'll also briefly go over all the add-ons in this video along with my opinion. I'll start with his power. Myers has 3 Evil Within tiers. Obviously, you start in tier 1. In tier 1, Myers has a movement speed of 105%, meaning he is only barely faster than survivors, next to no lunge, but he doesn't have a tear radius and can't be detected by Object of Obsession. This is due to tier 1 having the undetectable status. He also doesn't gain bloodlust, so it's best to try and get out of tier 1 as fast as possible. You do this by stalking survivors, and we'll get into those mechanics a bit more later. Tier 2 basically makes Myers a normal killer with a smaller tear radius. He has a tear radius of 16 meters and a movement speed of 115%. He vaults slightly, very slightly faster. And for the magnum opus, Myers has tier 3. Tier 3 brings his tear radius up to that of a normal killer, meaning he has a tear radius of 32 meters. He has a much bigger lunge and a much faster vault. Contrary to the belief of some, his movement speed and pallet breaking speeds are not affected. The big scary thing about tier 3 is that it gives all the survivors the exposed status, which means they will all be one shot whether they're healthy, injured, whatever. Without add-ons, Myers is in tier 3 for 1 minute for returning to tier 2. It is impossible to return to tier 1 once in tier 2. With the explanation of tiers out of the way, I'll go into the stalking mechanic. Myers' stalking mechanic is a bit funky as of right now. Myers stalking is based off of where the survivors are. If they are farther away, your Evil Within meter will fill up slower. If they are closer, it will fill up faster. He can stalk survivors up to 39.85 meters away. Up close takes about 5 seconds without add-ons to tier up. Farther off, it will take about 10 seconds. Ever since the servers have switched to dedicated ones, the game will not properly update how much stalk Mikey has actually gained. For example, if you are stalking Ace that starts farther away and gets closer, the game will stalk based off of where he started. If you were to stop stalking, you would find yourself with much more stalk. To fix this, simply stop stalking if they move closer or farther, and then immediately restock to continue building up the meter to get an accurate amount of evil that's currently being absorbed. Myers also has no hitbox while stalking, so if someone is trying to body block you for someone, you can phase right through someone to get access to whatever they're trying to keep you from. I've used this trick to phase through a survivor trying to keep me from the hatch and managed to close it. It has a very niche amount of situations that it is helpful, but do keep it in mind. Next, I'll go over some basic tips with Myers. The thing I think I get asked the most is, when do I stalk with Myers? And the simple answer, whenever the survivor is going to make it to a window or a pallet. Just stalk when that's going to happen. Just anywhere safe, go ahead and feel free to stalk. If you're not going to be able to make it to them and hit them, just stalk. If you can hit them, try and get a hit. If the survivor is oblivious to you or is just running around in the open, it's a good idea to stalk. Myers has the potential of having the worst start in the entire game. If the survivors are observant and are looking out for you, try to hide behind things in tier 1 when trying to get out of tier 1. A trick that sometimes works, credit to Starva for this, but when you tier up, if you aren't super close to the survivor, hurry and hide and wait about 5 seconds after tearing up, getting out of tier 1, and then stalk. A lot of the time I have found this little trick works.
I am nothing if not determined. You're kidding, dude. You are kidding. You know what I'm gonna do? When I hit tier 1, I'm gonna hide. He's gonna look around and be like, yeah, there's probably someone else. And then we're gonna come back. I'm gonna suck this man dry.
For tier 3 activations, make sure you 99 the tier 2 meter just so you can have tier 3 whenever you need it. I usually activate tier 3 if I have no pressure on the map at the moment, or if there are 2 survivors or more next to each other, like, 3 people next to each other, or the whole all of them just grouped up. In this instance, you would do something called slugging. This is when you down someone, and instead of immediately hooking the person, you go for the other to save time and get multiple survivors down. If you down one survivor and the other survivor keeps finding pallets, only chase the survivor for at most 2 pallets and then return to the survivor you down, unless you're completely sure that it'll be worth it, just because you don't want to lose all your pressure to greed. And finally, remember that Myers is a basic M1 killer at the end of the day. So to improve with Myers, you have to keep improving with your killer in general. This is mostly just mind games and execution, and by execution, I just mean ensuring your swings land. This means you can watch essentially most killers and learn mind games that can also apply to Myers. I'd recommend watching people with lots of hours in the game and picking up tricks. If you want specifically Myers, I tend to stream quite a bit, link in the description, and also I have lots of Myers content to watch. But most content creators have quite a few matches with Myers you can watch. When I started, I learned mostly from True Talent. He has quite a bit of Myers gameplay on his channel. You can also watch countless others, to just name a few, like the one I showed in the video earlier, Oddstarva or Scott Jund. But there are others as well. There's plenty of content creators that have thousands of hours in the game. Alright, with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and go into the add-ons. First off, we have Tacky Earrings. These slightly increase the movement speed while stalking. Not a very great add-on. You typically don't really need to go faster while stalking. Boyfriend's Memo increases your lunge in tier 1. This add-on is really only good for scratch mirror builds, otherwise there's not really a use for it. The Blonde Hair slightly increases tier 3 time, but also increases the amount of stock needed. While having a longer tier 3 is nice, this one is not really worth it. I believe you only get about an additional 10 seconds. A Reflective Fragment. In my last video, I don't think I gave these add-ons enough credit. It makes it a lot easier to mind game and can help get some quicker downs. This one shows you the aura of survivors for 2 seconds for each second of stock you get on someone in Evil Within 2. The Memorial Flower slightly increases evil gain rate when stalking. Very good add-on, one of Mikey's best. Getting out of tier 1 and into tier 3 faster is always good. Jewelry just increases the movement speed a bit more than the brown one. Can be fun equipped with the green jewelry box, but nothing really new to say. The Hairbrush, same thing as the Blonde Hair, but you get more tier 3 time, and still only needing slightly more stock. This one I would say is worth it. The Glass Fragment, similar to the other Glass Fragment, except this one is for tier 1, which isn't as useful, but can help you get out of tier 1, since you know when the survivors will be leaving their cover or staying behind it. Dead Rabbit decreases the shape's terror radius in Evil Within 2, but increases it in tier 3. A very good add-on, makes you more stealthy in tier 2, and if you happen to have Infectious Fright with it, you'll have a lot of people revealed to you in tier 3. Makes for good snowballing, but also some fun stealthy play. To get them really close, get that little free hit. Mirror Shard, stalking a survivor for 1 second with Evil Within 2 reveals their aura for 5 seconds. Same as Reflective Fragment, but better. Judith's Journal, when stalking the obsession, your Evil Within goes up considerably faster. Great add-on, especially when paired with Nemesis to keep swapping obsessions. Jewelry Box, like the other jewelry add-ons, but makes Mikey's movement speed faster. Fun when paired with the yellow one, but there's not much use. J. Myers Memorial moderately increases evil gain rate when stalking, one of Myers' best add-ons, if not his best. Fantastic add-on. Hairbow, similar to the Hairbrush, but you get even more time with it, Evil Within 3. Other than the Eerie add-on, it is probably the best extended tier 3 add-on in the game. Very good add-on. Vanity Mirror, when stalking Evil Within 2, survivors' auras are revealed within 16 meters. Terrible add-on. It decreases your movement speed and you already have to be breathing down the survivor's neck to see auras. You also have a terror radius and a red stain. Terrible, terrible add-on. If you want similar gameplay, use Scratched Mirror. It's way better. Way better. The Tombstone Piece, arguably Myers' strongest add-on in the whole game. Once Myers gets to tier 3, whether the survivor is healthy or injured, if you are close enough to the survivor, you can instantly mori them, removing the survivor from the game. It considerably increases the amount of stock needed to get to tier 3, and once you mori someone, reverts Myers back to tier 2. Very strong add-on though. While it does require more stock, the reward you get for it is incredible. Very, very strong. Not very fun for the survivors. Somebody here. Cool. There's somebody in stream chat in your game, so tombstone them. First, is Monkey? I think Monkey's was just memeing. Scratch mirror. In tier 1, you can see the auras of survivors within 32 meters. On the right map, this add-on is a lot of fun and great to use. If the survivors are observant or have spine chill, this add-on can become a bit difficult to get use out of. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not bad. It is a lot of fun though. On the right map. You can't just go onto any map. You will have a terrible time with Scratched Mirror on like Coldwind Farm or something like that. Lock of Hair tremendously increases evil within 3 duration, but moderately increases the amount of stock needed to reach evil within 3 for the first time, and that applies to all of the extended tier 3 add-ons. It only increases the amount of stock needed for the first time getting to tier 3. Anyways, this add-on isn't that great. You have to stock way too much, and I believe you only get an additional 20 seconds. You get a bigger bang for your buck with the green hair bow, in my opinion. The Judith Tombstone, similar to the other Tombstone, Myers can instantly kill someone once at tier 3, but his movement speed is slowed down, and once he moris someone, he doesn't return to tier 2. So without add-ons to increase your tier 3, you become a killing machine for 60 seconds. This add-on isn't bad, but the other Tombstone add-on is much better. Simply due to the fact that Myers is slowed down in this version, you can loop a Myers with this add-on forever if they don't happen to have Play With Your Food. I've done it myself. With Play With Your Food, it becomes a bit scarier, especially if the survivors don't starve him, but if they make it harder for Myers to stock, survivors can easily finish all the gens, get out with maybe 1 person dead. Fun fact about Michael, if you happen to be going up against the Tombstone, if his hand is open in tier 2 or tier 3, that means that the Myers does have a Tombstone. If the hand not holding the knife is open, unless the Myers has Play With Your Food. For each stack Myers has Play With Your Food, he'll clench his hand. The Fragrant Tuft of Hair tremendously increases the amount of evil needed to reach tier 3, but makes tier 3 infinite. A very good add-on, but contrary to popular belief, it's not the best add-on ever. Myers is still an M1 killer, and most good survivors are fine with just staying injured anyways. The Faster Vault is nice, but it's not an instant win add-on. Myers can still be looped like normally. If paired with Judas Tombstone, you become a killing machine for the rest of the match once you hit tier 3, but the problem is getting all the stock to get to tier 3. Once you do, it's basically game over if you can do it before all the gens pop off. And that's everything. With all of that being said, that is my updated Myers guide. I'll go over builds for Mikey in a later video, but thank you all so much for watching. I hope this guide can help out. I hope to see more of my fellow Myers mates on the battlefield. A happy graduation day. Stay safe, take care, and enjoy Mikey.